The infantry are the heart of the warrior spirit. They're the ones who live on the front line, and they carry the fight straight to the enemy. Becoming an infanteer isn't about looking the part. If you want to become one of these absolute animals, you're going to have to prove you have the courage, the discipline, and the relentless drive to stand where others can't and won't. Infantry DP1 is right up there alongside one of the hardest DP1s in the CAF. It's going to push your body, test your limits, and absolutely reshape your mind. But if you do come out the other side, you'll know exactly what it means to carry a rock and a rifle, lead the charge, and defend something bigger than yourself. So if you're someone who's about to start Infantry DP1 soon, or you've been thinking about joining the CAF as infantry, this one's for you. This video was highly requested and taking you behind the scenes, the modules you're going to face throughout the course, the physical grind you're going to face, the mental torment, the sleep deprivation, but also on top of that, I'll explain how to prepare. I'm also going to talk a little bit about where you're likely to be posted after course. I'm not going to deep dive too much into that portion though. I want to save that for another video. And in case you're new to the channel, just for my credibility, I've done both infantry and combat engineer DP1. I've been in the Army for just under 12 years. Right now, I'm currently posted to the Canadian Forces School of Military Engineering here in Gagetown, New Brunswick, and my posting prior to that was the Canadian Army Advanced Warfare Centre in Trenton, Ontario. Alright, let's get into it. I want to start by saying what you do as an infanteer is extremely important. You are the ground truth of force. When conflicts happen, when crises emerge, when defense is needed, and when it's time to get rid of enemy positions, you're the one who goes first. And I know that's contradicting to what I said in the Combat Engineer videos. I get it, sappers lead the way, and we do. We absolutely clear the way to the front line. But that being said, we wouldn't be able to do that without the protection of the infantry. Infantry and engineers work pretty hand in hand together. But it's safe to say, without the infantry, nothing else moves forward. You'll be tasked to take ground, hold positions under fire, and just as the role of the infantry says, close with and destroy the enemy. DP1 exists so you don't just survive when it gets real. You excel. So it's not about looking tough and holding a cool title. It's about being tough when everything else falls apart. Here's your reality of your day-to-day on course. Throughout the day, you're tasked with physical and mental demands. This course will make you suffer. It's supposed to. Most candidates underestimate the sheer weight and duration of the ruck marches. You carry your fighting order, your frag vest, your plates, your tac vest, everything else that's included. You've got your ruck, your rifles. You could also find yourself tasked with carrying the C6. You may have a C9. Your platoon could have some shotguns and some anti-armor weapons as well. And on top of that, it's not uncommon for the course to have to carry your own water jerrys with you everywhere. They make sure you're topped up as well, not just with extra water, with extra ammo, extra rations, and pretty much anything else they can add to keep it combat realistic and add stress to your environment. I've heard from sources that some courses do carry stretchers with a whole lot of extra kit, just like the combat engineers, and some courses don't. I'm not entirely sure what that's all about. That just could be the course staff on one course having a little bit more fun than the course staff on the other course. But I know on my infantry DP1, we didn't carry around open stretchers with stuff all over it, like the combat engineer DP1. The only time we ever had stuff on a stretcher was in the field in casualty scenarios, and it was always a person on the stretcher. Your days in the field will be long. Again, I got some back and forth answers on the duration of time in the field. I did my infantry DP1 when I was like 18 or 19. It's changed since then, but the back and forth answer I've heard is you should expect a bit more than 2 weeks to about a month in the field. The days are long and relentless. Patrols, day navigation, night navigation, long 3 a.m. recce's. You'll spend entire days just digging trenches in the heat. Your nights will be long, and just when you think it's time to get some sleep, your instructors are going to toss some arty sims into your bib sights, wake everyone up, put you into stand to positions, have you fighting off the enemy for the next 30 minutes, and then they let you go back to sleep. But of course, they rinse and repeat this multiple times throughout the night. And then in the morning, we've got to move our positions. And when you aren't in the field, the sleep deprivation is just as bad at garrison as well. You'll be preparing for exams, inspections, going over your drills, or just spending late nights with the staff. It's far more stress than just physical exertion. There's an extreme pressure put on you to perform, not just for yourself, but for your section. In the infantry, you get out of the mindset of thinking just about yourself. If you fail, your buddies to your left and right are going to feel it. And in a real situation, the troops you're protecting behind you, they'll feel it as well. If you come into course mentally and physically weak, your peers will suffer because of you. That's the way to being infantry. And that's the way to being in the combat trades. So let's talk about the modules a little bit, the meat and potatoes. The exact sequencing can shift, but you should expect these core packages. This is where the course earns its reputation. You're going to go through individual soldier skills and field craft. The obvious one, you're going to cover weapons handling, the C7 service rifle and the C8 carbine, and sometimes you'll get pistol exposure as well. You're going to learn your C9 and your C6 machine guns. At this point, you're just learning at the basic user level within the infantry. The idea is that you can understand and you can be employed in the role of a machine gunner within a weapons net. You're going to throw grenades. And of course, you're going to learn some anti-armor. You're going to learn the M72 for anti-personnel and softer skin vehicles. And some courses, you get to learn the Carl G as well. This is an anti-tank weapon. But don't worry, if you don't learn it on course, you're going to get it at your unit soon enough. You'll learn cam and concealment, basic patrol movements, occupation of hides and harbors, how to pull sentry shifts, man OPs, and how to go through routine life to live in the field. You're going to study hard on navigation. That's navigating yourself day and night with nothing but a map, compass, and protractor. You're going to learn military radio and voice procedure and how to make reports. And of course, you're going to go through CBRN training. In order to properly employ this training, you need to feel the effects of the gas. So yes, you will be asked to walk unmasked into the gas. It sucks, it burns your eyes, your nose is running, you can't breathe, but if you follow your drills, get your mask on quickly and correctly, it does go away pretty quick. Kinda. You're going to go through section and platoon level tactics, battle procedure, recce's, section attacks, platoon attacks, how to break contact. You'll learn how to conduct ambushes, raids, and employ the use of smoke, fragmentation, and illumination, and integrate that into fire support. You'll get onto some range and live fire progression. This is a lot of people's favorite package. You take all the fundamentals you learned about the weapons to the range with live rounds and test out your marksmanship. You learn marksmanship progression, static, moving, and then night. You'll get into live fire pair lanes, commonly known as jungle lanes. These are a whole lot of fun. Pretty much, you're walking through a designated trail in the woods. These trails are an authorized range. You're with your fireteam partner, and automatic targets pop up throughout the trail, and you and your fireteam partner engage the targets together, covering, moving, and calling out. You'll get into live fire section attacks as well. That's your entire section simulating an attack on a position. You'll also learn some stress shooting. That'll be tied into snap shooting and shooting after a move while out of breath. You'll go through urban operations. A lot of people really enjoy this one as well. A lot of you may know this as CQB. It's not exactly the same, but you learn the CQB fundamentals. Room entry fundamentals, clearing stairways, hallways, and building transition drills. You'll learn how to fight through entire buildings, clearing basements, and fighting from rooftops. You'll learn urban defense, holding strong points, obstacles, and maintaining arcs and fields of fire. Of course, throughout this module, different combat scenarios are going to be thrown at you. So becoming adaptable will be your #1 friend. You're going to get into some mobility and survivability, learning some hasty obstacles, low wire entanglements, simple fences, and basic entrenchments. You'll learn how to use cam nets, how to properly fill out range cards, and learn everything about primary, secondary, and alternate positions. You'll also get an intro into IED and mine awareness. You're going to learn actions on a potential find and lane discipline. You'll be taught and assessed on your military fitness, rucking, and battle drills. You'll have progressive ruck marches under time standards with your full fighting order, casualty evacuation exercises, buddy drags, carries, and how to employ improvised litters. And they're going to assess how well you know your battle drills under fatigue and time pressure. If you're someone watching who's already done the infantry course, I know a lot of things I'm saying are pretty vague. I'm trying to do a couple things here. Maintain operational security and not piss off the instructors by giving away everything about the course. There's obviously a couple things I just can't talk about. You're going to face assessments throughout the course, and your final assessment will be the field phase where you put it all together. Like I said, these field days are long and grueling, and they string everything you learn together. The patrols, the attacks, the defense, stand twos, orders, rehearsals, and admin in the field, all under sleep deprivation. The instructors are assessing how well you can employ these skills at this point. They want to see who crumbles under pressure and who relies on their training and their team. Expect friction and role players. Lots of random attacks throughout the day, throughout the night while you're trying to sleep, nights in your trenches, and expect lots of miles underweight. Something else that was mentioned to me that I thought was a little weird. Again, I got 2 answers on this. If someone could explain to me in the comments why the inconsistencies right now, is there maybe like a switch in the training, or maybe it's just your course staff deciding on how the course is going to look. But I've heard of some courses having an in-dock portion and some courses not. During the in-dock portion, you're confined to barracks, you have no phones or at least limited privileges, constant inspections, and the instructors are with you all day keeping on the pressure. And if your section isn't tight, just like the Combat Engineer DP1, you can be stuck in that phase for a long time. It forces standards and cohesion early. So how do you prepare? First of all, you can head to the links in the description of this video or the links in my bio and check out my military readiness fitness plans. I've got a 6-week hybrid soldier strength plan in there that's perfect for the more physical combat trades like the infantry or the combat engineers. So you can check that out. It's a 6-week progressive plan. It has diet advice and recovery advice in there as well. It goes into rucking, running, gym workouts, and it's completely designed to prepare you for the physical and mental demands of the combat trades. But to break it down further for you guys for this video, you're going to want to start rucking at least 1 to 2 times a week. Start with a 15-20 pound bag and work your way up to a 60 pound bag. Aim to be comfortable with 10 to 12 kilometers or more. Start running at least a few times a week and head to the gym and start strength training. Deadlifts, squats, lunges, all of those big compound push-pull movements. Work on your core and your posterior chain. Planks, V-sits, Russian twists, flutter kicks, all important. And take care of your feet. Get yourself a good pair of boots, break them in, and get yourself a good pair of socks. Manage your calluses and have a blister kit. You can head to the links in my bio, head to my Amazon storefront, and pick all of that up. The boots, the socks, the blister kits, they can all be found there. Keep your feet in the game and you stay in the game. If you're someone preparing for your infantry DP1 and you've been sitting around in Pat Platoon for a while, go over your map and compass again. Go over basic orders and basic battle drills. Practice your kit layout until it's muscle memory. And start working on your sleep discipline now. Caffeine is not a strategy. Expect to be uncomfortable. Your job is to be useful under stress. No ego, no drama. DP1 rewards the soldiers who solve problems and take care of the section. This course matters. This isn't just something you need to get through to get to your posting. And it isn't a punishment either. It's about credibility. The field exercises, the rucks, the no-sleep problem solving, they're designed so that when it gets real, you and your platoon perform. The Canadian Army trains this way on purpose to field high readiness forces. So where can you be posted after DP1? Well, we have 3 regular force infantry units across the CAF. You've got RCR, PPCLI, and the Bandoos. If you want to go RCR, your options are 1 RCR in Patawawa, Ontario, 2 RCR in Gagetown, New Brunswick, or 3 RCR, which is the light infantry as well as the parachute company located in Patawawa, Ontario. You've got 1 PPCLI in Edmonton, Alberta, 2 PPCLI in Shiloh, Manitoba, and 3 PPCLI, once again the parachute company, also in Edmonton, Alberta. And finally, the Vendus. You've got 1 Vendu in Valcartier, Quebec, 2 Vendu in Quebec City, and 3 Vendu also in Valcartier. Infantry DP1 will push you past your comfort zone. Show up fit, humble, and coachable. Look after your feet, look after your buddy, and look after your section. Do these things, perform under stress, and complete your tasks without an attitude, and you'll earn a place in battalion. Like I mentioned, if you want a head start, check out the links in the video description or the links in my bio. Like I've said in other videos, a portion of everything made on my channel gets donated directly towards veteran support organizations. I'll be uploading another short form video about the infantry soon, talking a little bit about some of the hardest parts you face and how to prepare. So if there's anything you wanted to know about the infantry that maybe I missed in this video, don't freak out, just put it in the comments, and I'll make sure I do my best to answer it in the next video. Alright guys, thanks a lot for tagging along. These Infantry DP1 videos, they're a whole lot of fun to make, but they do take a whole lot of time. So please show your support, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. It helps me continue to put out good content for you. Stay tuned for the next video guys, and like always, catch you in the next one.